like I say, Ohio State's top position group, undoubtedly their offense, their top unit, I guess you should say. Notre Dame's defense has to be number 2 to match and to contain that. And then I would also ascertain that Notre Dame's offense has to be better than Ohio State's defense. And I know that Ohio State expects to be much, much, much improved on the defensive side of the football. In fact, I expect them to be much, much improved on the defensive side of the football. I think that's going to be a given. In jest, I will say as a Notre Dame fan, they're going to be much improved on the defensive side of the football because it couldn't have gotten much worse. Okay. So, and like I say, I make that comment somewhat facetiously, but at the same time, Ohio State is going to be improved there. However, and even as I have kind of glanced at the comments at different times throughout this show, talking about Ohio State and their triple threat in their offense with the read option, the ability to get you in space, the ability to use their speed to, go a little bit up tempo and get you on your heels. And then it's option, it's pick up 4, it's pick up 6, it's pick up 8, and then it's a 30-yarder for a touchdown. I get that. If you ask me, that's what Notre Dame has been trying to input into their offense with Tyler Buchner, who certainly does not have the accolades of CJ Stroud, but if he's developed in the same way, if he's used in a similar way, could very well have a breakout season the way that CJ Stroud did as a freshman. I mean, I don't know that is necessarily out of the realm of possibility. What really makes for good read option, good RPO type offense is having speed. Notre Dame has it in Lorenzo Styles, Braden Lenzy, Chris Tyree at running back. They have a great tight end who can win one-on-one battles and block the daylights out for people in Michael Mayer, and a quarterback, a dual threat who can hang on to it, make plays with his feet, make plays on the run, roll to his right, make the right read, so on and so forth. Okay. And I've got that in Tyler Buchner. The one thing that I'll say that is the unproven about Notre Dame in this type of an offense is that we just haven't seen Buchner do it a lot on the actual television screen, because we've heard about it some in fall camp and that, but he just doesn't have the reps. He doesn't have the same reps that CJ Stroud does. He doesn't have the reps really just as a quarterback in general. And it's going to be tough, honestly, for a guy like Tyler Buchner to go out here and be expected to, to operate an offense the same way as CJ Stroud does. But again, as I say, if Notre Dame's offense up front can handle Ohio State's defensive line, which I think is pretty good, and is able to run the ball and puts Tyler Buchner, your young quarterback, into manageable situations, I don't see a way that Notre Dame doesn't, put some points on the board, get into the upper 20s, lower 30s, and make this a game, going into the fourth quarter in Columbus. Again, I could be wrong. I just think, like I say, that Notre Dame is going to be good enough to contain an Ohio State offense, can be good enough in situations, and can keep this game close, because I think the offense is going to get there. They're going to get a couple of drives going. They're going to, get into 14, 17 points by halftime. And like I say, I don't expect this to be a dominate from start to finish, but if Notre Dame can manage the game, get into situations that the percentages are, swayed more in their direction so that they can, get CJ Stroud into passing downs, pin their ears back, get after them, contain the quarterback scramble and all that. That's the recipe for how you win. So I know, real generic kind of a way to put it there, but I just don't think that there's one particular way to win this game that you can just go out and say, here's what it is. Here's what you do. It's going to be a conservative approach, maybe a short in the game, get a couple, keep Ohio State's possessions under 12 or so by running some clock on offense, by using your own read option to move the chains. I think that's the recipe for how Notre Dame does it. And again, I mentioned situational football. I think Notre Dame has placed a big emphasis on red zone offense and defense in this camp. Ohio State's going to move the ball. They're going to rack up a lot of yards. Okay. And Notre Dame's kind of going to have to be okay with that. What they have to do is when Ohio State is at the 20, 25 yard line on in, understand, well, now I don't have that over the top pass to worry about. Now I can be a little bit more aggressive. I can jump a route. I can knock a pass away. I can make a good football play. And I think that's what they're going to look to try to do, force Ohio State into 3s and not 7s, and, make the most of their opportunities on the other end when they get to the red zone. Again, if you're going to play the track meet, if you're going to play the whoever has the most big plays wins, if you're going to play the live and die by the deep ball or the chunk play, not a recipe for beating Ohio State. That's for sure. There's a school of thought, I don't know that anyone in Division I actually does that, but bad defensive teams, are more apt to go for it on every time on 4th down, because even if you turn it over in your own territory, at least you have a short field to defend, and now you don't have to defend against a 60-yard bomb. I don't expect Notre Dame to go to that extreme by any means. However, I think that will be their attitude, that, maybe on a 4th and inches at your own 45, you think about going for that, because even if you don't get it, you play a little bit of contain. Ohio State moves it into field goal position. Now you're defending a shorter field, more guys, fewer yards to defend. And that's how you force them into 3 and you move on with life. I think that's generally Notre Dame's thought process there.